Hello, good evening, and welcome to Become a Better Man. My name is Tunde Disu, and thank you for being part of today's program. On today's program, we are going to be looking at the art of asking questions. The art of asking questions. Somebody once said that there is no mountain anywhere. Every man's mountain is his ignorance. The answer that you're looking for, the solution that you're searching for, the meaning that you are inquiring about is all hidden. They are all hidden in the questions that you've not asked. Maybe ask yourself or ask of others. Until you start asking questions and asking the right question and asking the right people and asking in the right context and at the right time, you will not get the answer, and that will keep you in the dark. That will keep you ignorant in that aspect. So on today's program, we are going to be revisiting this seemingly old way of life, seemingly old art of asking questions. We live in a world these days where everybody is being fed on what to see, what to think, what to believe, and everything. And so we live our lives not really asking, not probing, not challenging, not questioning, not really examining or re-examining what is before us. We take everything whole as it comes. We believe everything in totality as they are presented, and so we virtually live a life that is being fashioned and designed by somebody else, because we are not asking the questions that will help us to understand what we're doing, because without understanding, the ability to apply will be limited, if at all it exists. And results are products of application, not just the knowledge, not just the information, but the application. But you cannot apply until you understand, and you cannot understand until you dig deeper, until you go beyond the surface, until you ask yourself questions, thought-provoking questions, questions you don't want to answer, questions you are afraid to answer, questions you would rather avoid. But you see, behind those questions lies the answers, the solution, the breakthrough, the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding that you will need to get to the next phase. So today, on Become a Better Man, in our effort, in our journey towards becoming better at who we are and what we are going to be looking at this old practice of asking questions, of challenging, of not being unnecessarily difficult, but wanting to know how and why. Somebody said those who know how will always have a job, but those who know why will always be the boss. Those who know why is because they have asked the question, why is this like this? Why is this not working? Proper questioning has become a lost practice. It's a lost art. It's no longer in our vocabularies and in our day-to-day life living and experience and interaction. People are not asking questions these days. We just take it as it comes because everybody's in a hurry. Everybody wants a quick answer. Everybody is busy with one thing or another. But if you flip that over and look at the life, for instance, of a 4-year-old child, the biggest and the virtually the only vocabulary in their mouth is why. Why? And why not? And why is this? And why is that? Now, some of us as parents, we can get to a point where we think, oh, this child is just too bothering me, or it's too this. But you see, at that age, at that stage in their lives, they are exploring. They are looking for answers. They are why things are the way they are. Unfortunately, as we grow up, as we get older, we lose this ability, we lose this natural tendency to want to know more. For instance, in a poll that was pulled recently, it, the outcome of that poll showed that 70 to 80% of kids in their dialogues are asking questions of themselves, of their peers, of their parents, of their teachers, of everything around them, including inanimate objects. They are asking questions. But the same poll showed that at the adult age, only 15 to 25% of our interactions are based on asking questions. So it has dropped from 70 to 80%, and it is now down to between 15 and 25%. The question is why? And when you look back at the why, you will find that part of it is as a result of what we have learned over the years, how we have grown to see things, how we have come to accept and value. Our value system has taught us to not ask questions. For instance, when you were in school, when I was in school, when we were growing through childhood to wherever we are today. But when we were in school, you will agree with me that those who answer questions get more rewards, more recognition, more applause than those who ask questions. In fact, questioning sometimes can get you into the muckly. Questioning sometimes can get you into trouble with authority, with leaders and adults and authority. So we have learned over the years to not ask questions, to rather wait for somebody to find the answer and find the solution and give it to us. And that has transformed or transferred into the people that we have today in leadership positions. It is affecting your life and my life. It is affecting our relationship, our interactions, the way we look, the way we see, the way we value, the way we relate one to another. This dying art of asking questions is affecting how we live our lives. Decision makers. The expectations of decision makers has gone from get it done soon. It has gone to get it done now. But now we live in a society, we live in an environment where the expectations of our leaders, of our parents, of decision makers, of government and entities is now, this should have been done yesterday. So what that has done is it has compressed everybody into a box of not wanting to be the cause of the delay, not wanting to be the one that is holding back the wheels as it is turning. So everybody, almost everybody actually, has stopped asking questions. Everybody is now jumping to conclusion. Unfortunately, what that has led to is many people, many leaders, many individuals, many organizations, including governments, are making wrong or poor decisions because they have failed to ask the necessary questions. Look at what is happening, for instance, in this season of pandemic, when people are getting sick and people are dying and all of that. And the question that has occupied the minds of our leaders, of our government, has not been predominantly what can we do to help these people, to get these people well. No, the question that has occupied the minds of our leaders is, look at the economy. The economy is going to stop. The country is going to go bankrupt. Forgetting that, it is only those who are well that can help to prop up the economy. You can pump as much money as the World Bank has in its vault into the economy until you and I are strong enough, are well enough to go to work or go to the market to buy. It is still an exercise in error, because they are not asking the right question. Therefore, it is important that we learn to slow down in your life, in my life, in all that we do, in everything we're involved in. Learn to slow down. Slow down and ask, why am I running? Why am I on this track? What is happening? Is there anything that we can do to get this outcome in a better way? Because when we start asking questions, we will arrive at better conclusion, or at worst, we will save ourselves making the mistakes that will cause us to go back and redo the same thing over and over and over again, when we could have done it right first time around. There is the belief that a lot of people are not speaking enough, which is a different topic. But many people, including you and I, many people don't think about how different type of questions can lead to a different outcome. The question, the answer to your problem is hidden in the question that you've not asked. But when you ask the questions, or when you choose to ask the question, in some cases, you want to expand your view of the problem, rather than just keep going the same practice, the same method that has not been working, and we're patching it up with more money and more this, rather than to ask, what is going on? You ask questions if you want to challenge basic assumptions or to affirm your own understanding of the topic at hand. You ask questions because you want to feel more confident in the decision that you are making, in the conclusion that you are reaching. You need to ask more questions. But you see, most leaders today, even including you and I, we spend most of our days asking for information, requesting for status updates, asking or being involved in one conversation or the other. But when you look at it critically, when you really sit down to examine it, unlike very few professionals who are trained, like doctors, like lawyers, like journalists, that are trained in their business, in their profession, to ask questions. Most of the other professionals, they just go about not really thinking how essential question asking is to their businesses, to the things that they do, to how they do their things. But questioning, when you understand this art of asking questions, you will realize that questioning is a unique, powerful tool for unlocking the values of life. For instance, you never married your spouse without asking them if they will consider marrying you. You never bought that house without asking, can I afford it? Would I like to live in this place? Is this a neighborhood where I would like to raise my children? You didn't get out of bed this morning without asking yourself, would I rather lie in bed or go and do something with myself today? So questioning, the art of questioning is a unique, powerful tool for unlocking the values of life, because questioning spurs learning and exchange of ideas. Questioning fuels innovation and performance improvement. When you question, you develop, you grow, you improve, you expand. Questioning builds rapport and trust among members of a team, for instance. Questioning can mitigate risks, because in the course of questioning, you can uncover some of the unforeseen pitfalls and hazards that are lurking in the corner. But if you don't ask the questions, if you don't probe, if you don't challenge, if you don't ask, you will go head first, thinking it's a swimming pool when it's actually just a puddle, and bang your head on the concrete floor. Now, there are some people, and you know them, and I know them, we have some of them in our lives. There are some people that are naturally inquisitive. They are naturally very, very inquisitive. They have the ability to just roll out the right question at the right time for the right people, and it's like it's just a natural thing for them. But that is a very few of the world's population. Most of us don't ask questions, or we don't have asked enough questions. But by asking questions, we naturally improve our own emotional intelligence, which in turn makes us better questioners and better people, better friends, better spouse, better members of a community. If you don't ask, you won't know. And if you don't know, you won't know how to handle. So on today's program, we're going to revisit this old principle of asking questions. We're going to consider, we're going to look at the best type, the right tone, the right sequence, the right framing of questions that will help you to decide what information to seek, what information to give, how to manage the information you receive, and how to use that information to get to your intended destination. What question have you asked yourself today? You know, one of the most sane thing to do is to talk to yourself. But even more so is to ask yourself questions. Why am I here? Why am I doing what I'm doing? What is the purpose of this? How can we get this better? Why is this not coming out the way we want it? You need to ask yourself. You need to challenge yourself. You need to help yourself to grow. There are 4 types of questions. 4 types of questions. There's the clarifying questions. There's the adjourning type of questions. There's the funneling type of question and the elevating type of questions. 4 of them. Clarifying, adjourning, funneling, and elevating. What is a clarifying question? It's in the name. This is the type of question that help you to have a better understanding of what the other person is saying. Excuse me. It helps you to understand what the other person is saying, or better understand what the other person is saying. Because usually when you have conversation with people, what tends to happen is, as they're talking, you're already thinking how you're going to counter what they're saying and how you're going to get your word in. And in the process of that, you cross talk, you speak over one another. You hear half of what they're saying because you are preparing what you are going to say to counter what they're saying. But a clarifying question will help you to uncover the real intent behind what is said. And that uncovering will help you to understand, or will help both of you to understand each other better, which will lead to a better communication and a better relationship between the two of you. That is why they say, for instance, we judge others by their actions, but we judge ourselves by our intention. If only we ask these clarifying questions, maybe we will give the other person a benefit of the doubt. Maybe we'll give them a more leverage to try and understand why, what is the motive, what is the real intent behind what they're saying. Examples of clarifying questions is when you say things like, really? Can you tell me more? Or you say, why did you say that? Those are probing. They are probing questions. They are questions looking for more clarity. Not just, oh, you've said it and that's it. No. Why? What's the purpose? What's the motive? What's the intent behind what you're saying? But you know, one of the reasons people don't ask clarifying questions is because they tend to make assumptions for the part that they don't understand, and they just make it up as they go for themselves to give them a sense of satisfaction that that must be what he was trying to say. Oh, that must be what she said, or that must be what she was thinking. No, you're not the mind reader. You can't know what anybody is thinking until they tell you. And the only way for them to tell you is by you asking for them to give you clarity. The second type of question is the adjoining question. These are the type of questions that are used to relate aspects of the problem that are ignored in the conversation. You know it and I know it. Sometimes when you're talking to people, you deliberately leave some parts out. You just pretend as if they don't relate, they are not part of the conversation, but you know for definite they are key to the conversation. So adjoining questions are usually useful in discussion to identify behavioral differences between two variables. Examples of adjoining question is when you say, I understand what you're saying here, but how will this concept, how can we transfer it to this other part of the equation and still give us the same result? Or you say, okay, I've seen the picture you're painting here, but what are the related use of this same technology? Can we use it in other areas? Can we apply it to this other issue that we're having? Those are adjoining questions. When you take one question that seemingly has been answered and you use it to probe another aspect of the conversation. But you see, the reason people don't ask these adjoining questions is because the natural human tendency is to be laser focused on the immediate task in front of us, rather than digging deep to explore, to ask a question, to take time and find out how can we broaden, how can we expand the application of this solution, of this answer that I have now. How can I transfer that to another area to get the same result or not? The third type of question is the funneling question. The funneling question, these are used to, as the name is, to dive deeper, to dig deeper, to explore more beyond the surface. You ask a funneling question to understand how somebody has arrived at the answer that they're giving concerning the particular challenge or the particular assumption or the particular equation that they've put in front of you. That's when you ask questions like, how did you do the analysis? Or rather, how did you arrive at this junction? Why did you include this step in the whole process? Because maybe that's not the way we do it before. So why have you introduced this new step? That's a funneling question. And the fourth type of question is the elevating question. This is the type of question that raises broader issue and highlight bigger pictures. They are like your what's it called? Your camera zoom. They zoom out to see from a bigger angle, a higher perspective, a broader field of view to see exactly what is going on. But we're too immense in immediate problems. We just want to solve the problem and go. No, you need to examine it from a wider angle, from a different perspective. Try and understand it from different angles and see, what about this? Have you considered that? What is happening to this? Why is this one that's seemingly not party to the issue now having a major effect on the outcome? When you ask elevating questions, you take a step back. You zoom out to see a larger picture. So we've looked at these four types of questions: elevating questions, funneling questions, clarifying questions, and adjourning questions. But like I said at the beginning, the art of questioning, the ability to ask the right question or ask questions at all, is dying. Because everybody is used to, we've become so used to Google answering the questions, and YouTube, and Alexis, and this, what is my name, and what did I eat yesterday, and all of that. We're just used to other things, other people providing